Good evening, people. Good evening. This is Spirit Journey. How are you all doing? Today, let's see. Today is Thursday. Wow. Thursday, November 16th, 2023. And the time is now 5:59 p.m. Oh, wow. What a busy day I had today. Busy, but yet productive. I'm glad about that. It was productive. And I want to share with you some of the things that I experienced today. And I wrote in the title of this live stream, the WEAPON of civilization is MONEY. Yes. Yes, I have to be very careful about certain words they use. And I kind of like try to disguise some of the words. I want people to understand what I want to talk about. It's really something when you're really, really upfront about what you want to talk about. The system tells you that not advertiser friendly, whatever that means. And they do these things to manage you. And I don't like it. Um, the more I see, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, there is a spiritual wickedness in all places. And what's happening on the planet is just, it's systemic, the problem. Yes, civilization. I've talked about civilization before in my videos. It came to me a couple of years back. What is civilization? And those people who claim to be civilized or come from the civilized world, you notice they seem to have the most problems. And one thing that seems to be attached to civilization is MONEY. It is a bondage. And I see with social media that MONEY is becoming more and more aggressive. The lure of it, the drive to acquire it by any means necessary. And yeah, so good evening, viewer. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, this is going to be a political video. Yeah, I see that sometimes I talk to the people when they come on that they all of a sudden become a phantom. I don't know what's happening there, why this happens. But either way, I will continue speaking. Yeah, this is something, people. I hope the rest of you guys out there that you're starting to see like correlations, things that seem to be, paired together. That when you have one, you have the other. Yes, this particular Western phenomenon is just, it's getting out of hand. People are panicking, and the fight's not just at one corner. It's spread all over now. They're spreading the fight all over, and at some point you can't run away. So I want to talk about a few things, and I want to try to tie it all in there. I believe it's all related. It's a system, and these systems um, invade and pollute everything else. But you know, the choice is yours, and to take back your power. I mean, someone was even saying earlier uh, about your what's that? Something about power. You know, your own personal power to try to solve problems. I mean, we all got problems, and yeah, people might say, "Oh, you know, something higher than you." Aren't you your own power? Maybe the real problem is not tapping into your own personal power. Because if you're your own consciousness, isn't what you do is to really affect your outcome? And I think that's where religion fails. That it's about some other power that's separate from you. And you have to rely on this outside power to help you, to protect you, to provide for you, and to call yourself that you have, that you're unclean. And the uncleanness they claim based on some event and what someone else did, and I'm a bad person now. This is BS. This is BS. This is a real mind control that uh, has grasped itself upon society. Yeah, the closer people that you get to really, you know, to have a personal relationship with nature, with the earth, be connected with the earth. That is the answer. I mean, you know how I get kind of long-winded. I know. But the answer I would give is get connected to the planet Earth. Become one with the planet. Because you can if you are estranged, if you're removed from the planet, you know, you have to stay connected to your source. We're made from the earth. And so it doesn't make sense to stay connected with it. They want you to be separate from the earth and to rely on a separate foreign system as your savior. No, no. Your savior is you, and to stay connected to this planet in order to survive and thrive. That is the answer. So let me talk about the problem that resulted in this, my thinking with the answer is. It's going to be like in two major parts. Um, Something that I experienced earlier today, and the last part will be talking about medicine, and ultimately, excuse me, money is behind all it, and who ushered in money? But this civilization. Money is not a natural component on this planet. It is an alien. Money is an alien that was introduced and to get you fighting and everything else. It's an artificial system, money. It is your enemy, but we don't see it as such. I mean, I know about the lack of money. I know what it's like when you don't have enough money, not enough money to buy uh, really enough food. You have just enough. You start to lose weight sometimes. Um, it's horrible. It's not good. Some people there are in severe poverty. But this is an unnatural thing. Like you can't. The earth isn't provided for you because you don't have money to get it. Do dogs? Do cats? Do monkeys? Do elephants? Do they have money in their pocket? So how's that they're able to survive? There is an unnatural system, and they're feverishly working at um, subduing the planet and those that live upon it. So what happened today? Yeah, I had a wonderful walk with my dogs at my favorite park. That was just a couple of blocks from my home. And I did see them as I was crossing across going across the street. Uh, there were a migrant family, a mom and dad, and a baby. I saw the sign, and I didn't want to really pay attention. And the guy is started like moving the sign, to get my attention. And I did turn my head to see them. And I see, yes, I see that the sign they were begging for money. And then the lady with them lifted up the baby a little bit, and that affected me. They were sitting on the corner on the sidewalk, and it was kind of cold this morning. Yes, it was kind of cold this morning. Yes, welcome, viewer, welcome. Yes, it was kind of cold this morning. And I see a little. It looked. I feel kind of. What am I going to say? Was it just my mind playing trick? I mean, um, when she kind of lifted up the baby a little bit, like she's sitting Indian style, and then the infant, in the center of her legs that were crossed, and it was like kind of like hunched over, and I saw what looked like a newborn like baby. Oh, now I have my little fur babies with me in the stroller. So how could I not respond? Yeah, she did on purpose to get my attention. Like, hey, lady, look, I have a baby here, and I stopped, and then he pointed again. So she says something. I do not speak Spanish. And I did later find out that they're from Venezuela. They were like my coloring. The lady could be a little lighter than me. Um, they were petite. I mean, they were sitting down initially. Um, but when they lifted up the lady's the one that had the baby. When she lifted up the baby a little bit, it just looked like a newborn infant, and you see the lot of the skin exposed. So I said, I just had to do. I said, what? Um, she said something I didn't understand, so I just said, like they were pointing at something. They want, pointing at a sign. They wanted food or something. I said, oh, okay. I was speaking English, and then she's getting. I said, no. So I put my hand up, and I said, the only thing I know is Spanish. I said, uno momento por favor. And I pointed that I was I was using body language now to communicate. I'll get them food. Okay. So there were what do you call it? Like a deli, two doors down from where they were sitting on the ground. In short, I bought them a whole meal, and I had them put in two separate bags, one for him, one for her. And I was going to get the baby food. The store I went in didn't have any baby food. And by the time I got out of the store, it took a while. Yeah, I got them an egg and bacon sandwich on a roll, a big bottle of water, um, hot soup. It was chicken noodle soup. These plantain chips. So that just a whole meal. And I handed each of them a separate bag. They just said thank you. They knew how to say thank you. And then she was saying something else, but I didn't. She did use the word week, and I know wick, so I didn't know whether she said two words, something and week. And I don't know whether she would say that the baby has wick or something. So I called the guy over, the husband or whatever. I said, come with me, because the store that I purchased the food from, they're Spanish speaking. So he follows me. I said, excuse me, miss, do you also speak Spanish? Because I didn't want to assume, she took my order in the deli, and she has a Spanish accent and her what she looked like. So I didn't want to just assume. So I said, excuse me, but do you speak Spanish? She said, yes. I said that I told to ask the guy what the lady was saying outside. It was a little confusing because when he followed me in the store, he goes over to the juice and he's getting like like an apple juice or something. I'm saying, well, I got you the food in the big bag. There were two big bags. I don't know. I don't know, but um, we were able to go back outside. Um, he thanked me again. Then, but before we left, um, I asked him where he's from. Like, I don't know how to say, where you're from. Well, but I was curious. And um, so I was mentioning like names. So I would say, mention possible places where he's from. And then he got the gist of what I was asking. He said, "Oh, Venezuela." I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Okay, bye bye," like that, or adios. I forget what I said. And they went on their way. I went on my way. Now these people, they look like they were in their 20s. They look like my speculation. They look like maybe they were farmers or something like that in their own country. All these missing teeth, all missing teeth up front. Um, and the baby, what was really weird, the baby. Now, because when I finally went back outside, with the groceries to hand to them, she had they were standing. It looked like they might have been. Something happened. They had stood up, and I don't know whether they were going to walk away or something. That's why I said, no, wait. Because I got your food, and that's when I handed to them. But I see that the baby was not a newborn, and it was a bigger sized kid. And I'm trying to scratching my head, trying to figure out. Because I thought it was like a newborn kid. And wonder why would the baby was like, it looked like a rag doll. It was sitting like up, but like its head was all the way down. You see the belly, and it just, it looked like, because I saw the arm, I know it sounds weird. I saw the arm, there was a tiny little arm. And I'm confused because now the lady is standing up when I came outside with the groceries, and you see a bigger kid in her arms that was sitting up and could have, I'm not the best in how old a kid is, but maybe let's say 7, 10 months old. So it was a big, but it was scrawny. It was a scrawny kid, but very alert and just like wide awake. But what I saw before looked like a newborn line. I kid you not, people. What happened? What happened? Is it my imagination that is it how she had the baby sitting inside the lap and it was all the way like just like a rag doll. And she lifted it up. So I'm seeing it's just a small I don't know. I don't know. I just wondered, hey, am I just was I just getting emotional when I saw when she lifted up the baby? But then now, when I go back outside with the grocery, I see an older looking kid in her arms. I said, wow, I must have a vivid imagination. But what I wanted to talk about with outside of that, they looked, they, they, they looked so down and out, uh, nothing, absolute severe poverty in my opinion. Um, I'm not trying to be judgmental. I just observate. I mean, wow, all the teeth. She might have one tooth on the side, top side of her mouth. But everything gone up there, front teeth. And even what was remaining was not in good condition. Um, just kind of like um, they reminded me of weeds, 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 like just a wild, I don't know. Very rarely when you see something like that in America. Just how I don't know. Um, they were in good spirits though. But like, I was angry when I went into the grocery store to get them food. I was angry when I went inside because I told the people, the salespeople, um, they also looked like they were from South America, Central or South America. The people who worked at the store, preparing the food and everything. Um, I now I was told there is a shelter right in that area. Um, but the fact that if there's a shelter, if someone is being sponsored to come in the country, you're going to bring and bus in people, dump them in some type of shelter, and then not have means for them to eat, to have them. I mean, yes, I know people that, yes, I've lived in different places around the world, and yes, I've seen women use their babies to milk others of their money and attention. Yes, I personally have seen mothers using their babies, going into places that you should not bring any infant. I'm not talking about a toddler, an infant under the age of 1 in certain adult facilities. A disco, um, yeah, they'll have the mommies will use to uh, go to different agencies to get freebies and things like that. I mean, I've seen, and some of them are so damn selfish. I'm thinking of some of the Americans. I mean, I used to live in the Caribbean. I used to live in Hawaii, and I would see these young ass mothers. You know, they play games. A lot of these women, I'm not going to disclose who these women were, but I didn't have any respect for the women because I knew what they were doing. Um, But these people, the migrants, as I said, they were from Venezuela. To be that, wow, to bring someone here. For one, it's endangering the lives of other people because the border is open, and so it's not monitoring the safety factor that you bring in someone who has a legit concern, legit request, but then 10 people behind them are coming in just to because they can, and it's putting weight on the rest of the people here. Um, and right after I gave them their food, the mom and dad, the food, uh, all of a sudden two American, uh, they were like homeless. A lot of the people that live on the street, a lot of them do drugs. There were two adult men, middle age, and I was just fed up. I said, "Wow." I may sound a little insensitive. What you're hearing coming from my heart is frustration that I feel the system is playing us, playing our country. I love my country. America is my country, is my home, born and raised here, and I'm a veteran. And when I see American people on the street, when I see American veterans not having the facilities to live in honor and respect and dignity, and someone that's just come in and get more preferential treatment and catered to, and many of them are getting away with criminality. I was angry. And again, if the system really thinks that they are helping, okay, then you should do your homework. These people who are behind all this, every person that you bring in, there has to have a place for them to sleep long term. Everything has to be a complete package. If you're crying, oh, I'm persecuting my country. Okay, look, what's the status when you call that? What's the name I'm thinking of? When you're being persecuted in your country. Okay, then when they come in, it should be a complete care package. The place for them to sleep, food, medical, okay, or a place to stay, so that they don't have to go on the street and beg. When you have a little infant, and it's approaching winter now. I know what I saw initially in that lady's arms. It was an infant. It was looked very newborn. It looked very, very frail. I'm wondering whether they switched babies on me, or maybe someone else took the kid. I don't know, people. I don't know. It's my mind just being reactive because I felt sorry for I love little babies. Um, you shouldn't jeopardize the life of children, and I felt that the system here is negligent to, because maybe, I mean, I don't know whether they're promising these people a particular lifestyle and they're jumping on it, you know what I mean? I don't know whether that's what's happening. But I wouldn't want to be on the street especially if I had children with me. I wouldn't want that. They would be better off where they're from. Right? I mean, you're on the street and you're begging. So how is that an improvement on this situation? How, people, is it an improvement? And this is winter, but where they live, it's the tropic. It's warm all year. Here, you're jeopardizing the life of that little baby that I saw initially in her arms before I went to the supermarket to buy them food. Um, they might be being lied to. Hey, come in America. We'll bus you up there. You'll be all set up. And then, because you have one video that I watched, they allowed, I think, 60 days, 2 months, and then they get kicked out of the what do you call it, the shelter thing. So where they're going to go? Would you want that? That is so unsettling. And it's not showing goodwill to the people that are moving here. I how I feel about it. I mean, illegal is illegal. Illegal is illegal, and you have to service your own first. There are too many people here in New York City that are not doing well. We're about to pop here in New York City. It's not safe. They're stealing dogs now. I told you about that they tried to get my dog last month. When people steal because they're getting desperate, and winter is coming, and the holidays are fastly approaching, and you know what happens during the holidays? People feel like, oh, I got to get something for the kids and this and that, right? And so they get desperate, and what hungry, desperate people do. What do? You fill in the gap. And that's what's happening. And I feel that this is all social engineering. So I'm angry that the system that's behind this is hurting American citizens, hurting the legal people that went through the process to do the paperwork and did what was required of them to stay in the country and then to eventually get your papers. But now it's like free fall, and they just, you don't know who you're getting. Who are you getting? So I feel that see these like Venezuela, it used to be a thriving country. It was in the oil business. So what happened? Politics happened. I heard at one time that people were eating their dogs or stray dogs. I have 3 little ones. I wouldn't want to eat my dog. I mean, that's desperate. So here, a country with resources. I mean, it's a tropics. You have food. But people are really, things were really getting out of hand, I heard. Someone is bringing them in by the busloads to major cities like New York City, where I live. And you have a lot of other things here that are legal. Yeah, it's hard to find someone who's actually born in New York, like myself. I'm concerned. I'm really concerned that it's like things are being orchestrated, things are being arranged to have certain events happen. I feel, and it's all about So they try to destabilize countries. That's the point I was mentioning with Venezuela. Okay, it was in the oil industry, and then something happened, and now they're in poverty. They're desperate, and who was behind all that? That's what I'm getting at. The system. They can take any nation, and they take in the U.S. I think the same forces that mess with Venezuela is not messing with the U.S. and it's putting stress on the people that reside here. So many people lost their jobs. So many Um, there was just a lot of things going on in New York City. So, go figure. So, so this social engineering is being done upon different groups of people. And I think that they're relying on the groups to have conflict. They want to create a fight, I believe. They want to overtake the general population. It's like ethnic cleansing, but in a different form. They're taking out my generation and everything older than me, putting in a new group who are poverty stricken. You can pay them less. It's all being orchestrated, I feel. And they're using economics slash money, which was created by so-called civilization. And we're told that civilization is the key to everything, and what we are to aspire to. And I see that civilization is not your friend, and it doesn't answer questions. It doesn't resolve problems. It creates new problems and worse problems. That's what I see. What civilization is. Um, so that's part one of what I'm going to talk about. And then I saw a video today about the about malaria. Now, I used to live in the tropics some years back, and I had something called dengue fever. You get some type of mosquito bite that's infected with the virus, and it gives you a very high fever and itchy palms. I remember that. Yeah, and the extremely high fever. Mine went up to 105. So, oh no, I'm sorry, there was a little train of thought. Yeah, so about malaria. Um, I was watching a documentary, several documentaries about malaria. And it comes from, you get bitten by a mosquito that's infected with this pathogen. And when they bite you, the pathogen from the infected animal gets into the human. And a lot of the what they call antibiotics is becoming immune to some of these, that the pathogens becoming immune to the over usage of these antibiotics. But I'm learning again, it's all about money. Money is controlling the nutraceutical, I'm sorry, I meant to say pharmaceuticals. There was a video of this person, this man. I'm just looking at my notes, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, the malaria is a tropical disease. It comes from mosquitoes, and you don't want to get bit. So it's not something that happens outside these tropics. So you have people that live in these regions, and they're scientists. And there's this one particular scientist from the African continent, and he found something positive about it. He wanted to create a treatment, an affordable treatment plan for the populace. So they were experimenting with this particular herb. It has been used, they said, for centuries. But for whatever reason, this particular, I'm sorry, they're banning it. They, um, they don't want people, the system doesn't want people to get well. You have an effort of this plant. And it was discovered by another researcher. Um, it works very well. So the plant grows in the tropics, and some type of experiment was done in a laboratory, and it's very effective. Extreme. It works quickly and efficiently. But the other the other pharmaceuticals is it didn't work as well. And what's that? Yeah, it's found that it's so efficient. It didn't have any negative side effects. And you have this particular nation in Africa that's grown this plant that's proved malaria, um, you know, effective. But it's being blocked. So even though you have this one of the Africans did a study on this treatment plant, and it was very efficient. He published his work in a journal, and people were harassing him when he went to like one of the meetings, these trade shows, and he was getting hostile with one of the I'm sorry. Um, oh, but I'm sorry. Why is this getting confused here? I must be tired. I apologize. Yeah, it was a busy day, but even though it is effective, and the scientists got his work in a journal. Yeah, in fact, yeah, I remember he got his work published in one of the journals, health journals, and you have in Africa people like you have the pharmaceuticals, and then you have the people who they call it a depot. It's like a central place where you can get the whatever what's they're holding, and they contact the scientists. They must have read the article, and they got angry at the man, the uh, these scientists. They got angry with him because the people in the depot are the ones that are making in the money. So it's all about money. It's not about health. These organizations who are like the middlemen of these pharmaceuticals, they are in it for the money and their aggressiveness that come out. They want their money. Everything's about money, but not about service. What if they got sick with malaria or some type of tropical disease or any disease? You want to get the right medication, the right help. See, they want to push the synthetic meds. Don't fall for it. Don't they want you? Why are they so preoccupied Because yes, when you make a product and have it patented, only you could do the experiment or sell it or whatever how it's done. If you don't have a license, it's like you can't sell it legally. So so what's the correlation? So okay, um, so you have someone, in the tropical areas, they get infected by the pathogen, but the people who are behind the distribution of these meds, um, they don't want you to do that. So the medical field is very corrupt. They are hurting the reputation of these people who want to go through the natural process of getting treatment. And this particular plant, let me see if I have the name of the plant here. Let me see, get the name. Yeah, the name of the anti-malaria medicine is Artemisia annua. Yeah, let me pronounce it again. Artemisia annua. It's spelled A-R-T as in Tom, E as in Everett, M as in Mary, I as in igloo, S as in Sam, I as in ink, igloo, A as in apple, and then annua, A as in apple, double N as in Nancy, U-A. And this particular herb, they call it a perennial, has been so successful in treating and preventing uh, your malaria, and it's being blocked. And you have agencies that are run by these billionaires. Figure that again, they seem to get their hands on so many industries. But yeah, that's what's happening. That's what the video is showing. And he has his foundation, this particular billionaire, and they come in with these young children. And so I get that the people are angry because, hey, our resources, or, and you yourself might be poor, and you may have resources for you because it's all being spent on by somebody else. They're not empowering people to, hey, grow the plant themselves. I forget what happened about, I went on the internet to get names of the different anti-malarial drugs that I heard about. It's like they don't want people well. They want you to just rely on the just one check short of poverty, It's awful. So I'm just very tired about all this game. So you have an organization, several organizations, and they were pushing the narrative, about your health and all that because of that particular pandemic. But you don't see anybody else. You don't see anybody. Why is that? Why don't you see people? I don't know. So here they know what could be used. They could wipe out this malaria. And the people who died from it, they said it tends to be a lot of little children. And I think that all this thing with malaria, I think it's by design to keep a check on certain people so they don't grow in number. That's what I really think was happening. That's what I think was happening. I'm concerned. I am concerned. Yeah. What's behind with the addiction? What is that? I'm sorry. What's that? Yeah, that certain treatment plans for malaria. See, you you could see it's more profitable because they're using natural remedies. They you cannot patent something that is being used. They are exploiting you. Just look at my notes here. Um, yeah, so they don't want people to be treated in Africa, and they're using these large corporations with that billionaire. And say, oh, it always seems like when they put a fight to something, that the fight gets more. Hello, people. Yeah, they're speaking words into existence for that play magic. And you kind of, I don't know, you can't get the medicine. Yeah, they're making they're making the herb illegal to get in some countries. And there's no negative side effects. It's been used for ages in traditional medicine. But you have the third world people taking advantage. People are taking advantages of your social conditioning. And I'm greatly upset about this. Who would have thought that, you go to your person in command and they find they can't do anything for you. But yet someone from another country is being catered to. Yeah, New York has to be very careful about its behavior. You have to be careful, America. I love America, but I don't love what's happening. Yeah, this money slash, they get you addicted. They also have you addicted to television. If they want you to be glued to it and be programmed by social media. I wish these individuals just control themselves. Why this preoccupation with other people? Why is that billionaire going into Africa and telling people what they should do? I have a problem with that. I don't like them anymore. I don't like what I see. There was another thing that I saw with I hope I'm making some clarity here. I am a little tired. Um, yeah, that civilization, that township that had the migrant workers. Um, they were very humble, and I loved that very much. But what really caught my eye was that the place where they lived, it's abandoned. So, wow, how did that happen, boy? So you can have all types of disasters, and this disaster, okay, oh yeah, okay, that you had a classroom, and they were greatly trying to educate the young children, and I looked with amazement. The class had a lot of children in it. They looked about 2 or 3 years of age. But I was impressed. And the kid, what was different about the kids in this particular African country, the kids were happy. Even though they had a lot of kids in the classroom, they were all very well behaved and they respected their teacher. But in America, New York City, where I'm from, there's no respect. There is no respect. So how can education take place when there's no mutual respect? I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned with the things I'm telling you about. See, we're going to eat each other up. And by the time you get your sanity, it's gone. It is gone. Civilization is not your friend. They're getting you addicted to want more things. They're getting you addicted. Hooked on your phone, waiting for certain messages. Yeah, you know, you're not being catered to. And this is a problem. Yeah, it's like an addiction. People want to start these channels upon channels upon channels, but not the human element. There's no real quality with a lot of them. There's not a lot of quality time. Yeah, the kids here in America are not happy with their school, but when you go overseas, these kids look so happy. We need to get to that place that you invest in your children and to learn things, learn how to garden, learn how to do these arts and crafts, things that people are going to need. People need someone who can cook or clean, different things. And this is why Trump has said, number 45 has said, America first. It's not about hating anybody. It's about telling the truth and be respectful. No one here is perfect. No one. I'm not perfect either. No one is perfect. And at one time or another, we may make a mistake. But some mistakes is to pull you down into the pit of financial woes. Now they're going to be cutting back on your debit card. Yeah. They're going to control how to give you the money. I just want to be happy and free to understand what's happening in uh, the society around me. It's just all about money. And they're not getting better. The more you get, the more hateful you become. That's what I see was happening. Please don't go there. Please don't go there, society. We're all God's children. Um, we're all special. Take care, guys. This is Spiritually signing off.